Alright, welcome to part 5 of the Squad UE5 tutorials on how to mod Squad. So this is going to be how to create your own co-op mission, and how you do that is you're going to start with modding hub. You'll create your modding name, so Operation Hardpoint, what I chose. Description, you can leave it blank. Select an image, just go to my pictures, and then hit create. So there's our new mod. Then we'll go to the mission creation tool, which will open it up. And then I already typed this out, Operation Hardpoint. We're going to go to Kohat, USA versus PLA, mission rule set base, and then we'll pick the directory, and then we'll pick Operation Hardpoint, and then run creation tool. And this is going to take a minute, but while this is loading, I'm going to kind of explain a couple of things. So there's kind of two different ways that you can create your own custom mission first. And it's actually starting with the rule set. So your rule set is going to have all of your objectives, what each objective does, what you need to do in order to complete the mission. It gives items to player inventory or removes different items. And if you ever need any reference, you're actually going to close out of that, and you want to open up the game, go to co-op, go to blueprints, game mode, mission objectives, and all of them are going to be here. So you have combined arms, defense compound, extract, HVT, which is high value target, search and destroy, extract, and each one of these ones have different rule sets, what they do. So this one, on begin play, it's going to get all the actors of a destructible objective. It's going to do a for loop. It's going to bind to each cache destroyed, and it's going to create an event. It's going to say on crash destroyed, subtract 1. Once it hits 0, it'll say true. Complete main objective. Delay it for 4 seconds, and then a pop-up will activate. And then from there, usually you can do like complete mission. Yep, complete mission. Or you can do like a complete mission objective, like an actual thing. I'll show you that later. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to do this off of search and destroy. So we'll go back into here. We can either copy all of this and paste it in, but the easiest way to do it is just going to be going to edit or file, reparent, and we're going to find that co-op mission rule set, and it's going to be search and destroy. And there we go. So now everything should be loaded up into it. So it has the caches left to destroy, objective destroyed. This particular one, in order to complete this mission, because it's part of the revive to win, we'll have to revive all down players, complete the mission in 2.5 seconds. It'll complete. Here's all the mission data. All of this stuff will probably end up coming in from here. So this, I imagine, is probably pretty big. Oh, that's not too much. So yeah, and it has a bunch of different things that you can do. It would definitely take some time going through each one to kind of brainstorm what mission you want, and then verse it to what's available for right now. Obviously, you can code anything in, anything that you want, anything that you need. But for right now, we actually don't need to do anything here because our mission is going to be based off of the co-op destructible objective. So now that we're in here, and you'll be loaded in, it'll look like this. We have nothing in here at all. So we'll bring this down. We want to find our spawn point, which is going to be way up here. So team 1, and then there shouldn't be any like team 2. So you'll start up here with a vehicle or anything like that. So to find that stuff, it's going to be inside co-op. And then we want to do a vehicle spawner. And then we're going to say this vehicle spawner is going to give us, let's see, just do a transport. And then since we're the USA, we'll search USA underscore, I think it's TRAN, transport, yeah, right there. And then we want to set this to team 1. If you do not set this to team 1, and if you leave it neutral, it will not spawn in. So make sure you set that to team 1. You can check the offset, and then you do want to make sure that it is, scroll down, that it is, hold on. That it's green, that it's showing green. And we can actually rotate this around. So if you're going to rotate something around, make sure you grab the first one. Don't just like grab one of these or anything like that. And then just rotate it. And then we can move it forward. That's going to move it down. Yeah, that's fine. Just kind of shimmy it right there. And they should be able to get out. Yep. Cool. So now that we're designing this, what we'll do, we'll start adding some enemies in. So in order to do that, we want to use the bot trigger spawners. And we'll say if either way these guys go, so we'll just go back kind of down to anywhere in the valley. Let's say we want to push into Fob Conley. So if you're going to do Fob Conley, what I like to do is, I'll take, right here's a good ambush spot. So we'll take the trigger deploy. We'll set it there, kind of set it up a little bit. Kind of scroll down right here. Make sure you guys go through all of this to see all of the different settings that you can use. So we'll set team 2, basic squad. We're going to patrol around. We'll set this a little lower, so about 1200. Keep the aim accuracy the same. We'll spawn 5, so it'll be a squad of 5. And then we can actually set it to either a basic squad, and then you can actually kind of open that and view what's in it. So it's going to be squad leader, machine gun, grenade launcher, AT. Those are the required ones, and then it'll be a filler, so it'll pick, the first ones will be these ones, and then we'll just pick one of these ones since we're doing a team of 5, which is fine. Patrol radius we'll kind of keep the same. We'll patrol the bot spawn location or the bot spawner, either or is fine. We do not want to spawn a vehicle. And then I think that's it. So this is an extra one. So this is going to spawn our first kind of like ambush point, like right after, these guys come off the mountain. And they'll ambush them there. Maybe we can add another one over here. But I'm not worried about that. I just want to show you guys exactly what everything does. So then maybe you want to add in, if we want this one to need like a reinforcement. So we'll add this to a battle group, which will be battle group number 5. And we'll add in another trigger. So this will be the reinforcement one. So this one will, battle group 5. We're going to say this is a anti-tank squad. This one's going to be patrolling in a light vehicle. We can specify what vehicle. So we're doing PLA. Of course, it doesn't have anything. We can leave it alone for now. Yeah, we'll just leave it alone for now. It'll pick, based off the template, it'll just pick one, which is fine. We'll do known good location. Gunner should not dismount. Patrol and vehicle. We'll leave the patrol there. And then you do need to do the indices of vehicle. So we'll just start with 0 and then index of 1. So this will be driver, passenger, or the gunner. And now that it is set to group 5, what will happen is it'll automatically kind of get called with using can reposition. It'll get called to reinforce this position. And so the next thing that we want to do is we'll just put our co-op destructibles down. So you'll find that back in game, co-op, and then blueprints, I believe. And then these should have all your co-op destructibles. Yep, destructible objective. Mortar cast, which is a destructible objective. You see the parent down at the bottom. So that's what we'll use. We'll do a mortar cache. We'll say there's a mortar cache here that we need to kill. And then we can do a pre-spawned map marker on top of it. Kind of lift it up in the air. And then we will point it down. So we'll do -90. And then we can change it to destructible cache. And that's it. And that'll automatically kind of pop up and say, hey, this is where it's at. So when you're reading the actual intel, it'll kind of show you, hey, this is where everything's at. And I think that's it. I thought you can rename it, but I don't see it here. Just fine. We'll just add another one in. And that was a ZSU gun. Yep, there it is. So maybe this base has 2 anti-aircrafts that we need to get destroyed. Are these? No, that's right. So this so some things are a little bit different. So this is like the actual destructive objective, but you can add in the ZSU if I can find it. Destroyable, there it is. So we can just add it in like that. Put this in. I imagine there would have been like a snap to, but it doesn't need to be 100% perfect. I mean, you can sit here and kind of line it up and then move it where it goes. Yeah, that should be fine. And then we can actually do that. This, we will duplicate and then scoot it over. There we go. So then now it actually has the map markers embedded into this kind of system, so you can see it inside the details. The debug arrow. Or you can just add another marker straight on top of it. Which we will do that. Yep. And then duplicate that one. Okay, so we don't want to make it super easy, obviously, so we'll actually add in another one. So how many bots that you should keep to it right now? OWI is suggesting less than 40 inside the area of of an like any kind of area, and we're just gonna set this patrol radius. They don't want to patrol in a car. Basic squad, patrol box spawn, and we'll set the radius to like 8,000 or so. That should be pretty far. That way they can walk around. You can set like the initial display, so like if you do like 5 seconds, it'll be like 1, and then 5 seconds 2, and then 5 seconds 3. I just usually keep it 0. And this is versus all for vehicle stuff. Spawner actor location. And then you can actually change some stuff in here. So the spawn box we can actually make a little bit bigger. That way they're not all spawning all right here and then they move out. They can all just kind of spawn in this entire box is where they'll spawn in at. Which looks good. Cool. Alright, so just to recap, should spawn in here. You'll drive down. And we have the 3 destructibles. Basically, once you kill them, then you'll after 4 seconds, the game will end, and you'll say mission complete. We have the first 5 here. We have a vehicle here, and actually we can actually change this out to maybe like a light Vic or something. That way they can deal with the Vics. So you don't want to make it too hard, but just hard enough to where they're having fun. So we can do light armor. We can do light armor. And we can just do a crows. Map B. Perfect. And they'll use that. So it is going to be recommended just sorry, my mic just died. What you want to end up doing is going back into your co-op rule set. And I believe that there's like a number that you could set. Yep, recommended players 4. And you could set minimum length, max length, allowed death. I usually just keep that to 0. And then we'll get to like the short hints and objective hints, asset hints, and all that stuff a little bit later. I'll show you guys where all the everything's at that OWI has published. Okay, so now we can kind of add a little bit more things. So we can add a frontline, which is kind of like you're supporting a war, an active war. But I usually like to design my operations to where like you are the first ones in to push in, so they don't know you're coming, and so you're right on top of each other, basically. But the front line kind of works in the way of it's a spline. So you'll actually kind of select the spline, and then drag it out, and then select it again, and then maybe you want to go this way with it. So then you'll start seeing kind of this stuff spawn in a little bit, and we'll change that up in a minute. You can actually change like the rotation and everything. So we want to go this way with it. And they'll actually start spawning along the edges of where you have stuff at. And then we'll grab another one. It's fine. Oh, where's that other point? Anyways, you get the gist. I'm not used to splines. But we can kind of grow it out here. But it's the opposite way. So we have blue 4, but red 4 is out here. So we want to flip it. And that works. That would work. Maybe we drag it out over here. And we'll rotate it. And it works. Cool. So now there's a couple other like options that we can do, like a deployable spawner. And this is kind of just like little things that you can do, like specific deployables. So if you can set up like a mortar, you kind of just set up the same bot trigger. You can set it up like over here. So it would be like the deployable spawner with the bot trigger. You set the bot trigger to be one person, turn that off, set up this to be a mortar. Team 2. That's fine. And then you're gonna kind of like go through the rest of the mission configs and stuff like that to find out exactly how to set these up. And I believe Luna just pinned it the other day. And then you can kind of go through all of them and see exactly what does what. Yep. So it looks like they don't have the mortar stuff for the settings all set up correctly yet. You could possibly do a hab. But I don't think it would do it. You would want to do this one and then take it, copy it to your mod because it's not actually in the game yet. They're still working on that. Alright, so what kind of else stuff that we can teach you? I can let you guys know. Because basically how the mod is set up is if you were to play this right now, you'd be able to complete it. Why? Because we have the 3 caches in, we have all the objectives in. Once you spawn in, you don't even technically have to kill all of the people. You just gotta kill the things. But how to kill it? Well, I think there's 3 different damage types that I was looking at. You can kill it with like grenades, C4, or like a grenade launcher, I believe. It has like the 3 different damage in order to destroy it. And how does you do that is we can go to any of the co-ops, go open back up to the mission data, and we can just find one of the rule sets that have the C4 attached right here. Giving all kits C4 for this mission. So you can literally just hit the comment. You should just be able to copy the whole thing. And we can add that in. So on the event, it'll just modify the inventory. I do think that we have to set it in. Doesn't look like it though. It should just automatically run off the event straight up. Like soon as it gets ran, it'll get modified straight away. I don't think you need to enable it because it should automatically do it. Just looking at a couple of things. Okay. So yeah, what this does, it'll just call the parent. If it's valid, it'll get this, get the inventory if that's valid. It'll get the team if that's valid. Then it'll insert the item into inventory. So team 1, get that. And then anytime you are swapping roles off the ammo crate or anything like that, as soon as you spawn in, it'll always give the C4 exponent to the backpack, and then slot and offset. And then you can also do a couple different things like remove. Oh, you gotta do it off of here. You gotta do it off the get inventory. And then you can like remove an item class, replace anything, add a group. So if you want to do like group 7, so this is the way that you can kind of do things without adding on all the extra roles and all those data assets, because that can kind of get a little bit tedious. So other than that, we will actually give, yeah, we're just giving 1, I believe. Yeah, just 1. Still should be enough. Should be a minimum of 4, maximum of 4, or a maximum of 5. Let's have an extra, but you can always just duplicate. I'll change that a little bit. So now there's 2 vehicles that they can have. So now they can break up into 2 different squads. Obviously, now that they're into like kind of 2 different squads, you would want to make it a little bit harder. And then we do need to configure this front line. So you can go into the front line, the details. This kind of just shows you the distance between squads, the number of per squad. I believe that's good. And it'll automatically spawn in vehicles, I believe. You do empty number of bots per squad. That's okay. So you do want to watch this number of squads. So you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times 3. So that's you're cutting it pretty dang close to that 40, 50 mark. You'll definitely want to start killing those bots pretty quick in order to make it to where the TPS on the actual host is not going to be through the roof, or else you would have to start hosting these on like a dedicated server, which is really easy. You can just search it up in the squad hosting or the squad modding Discord. I believe Drav was talking about how to do that. So other than that, yeah, this mission is pretty much ready to go. I don't think there's too many things. We do have an error. And it mentioned something. It's probably the ZST or something that I put in. I don't think it was the front. Let's see. Frontline. Nope. Destructibles. Nope. The Z? Maybe? No? I wonder if it was the mortar. Because... Yep. It's because we are selecting mortar. Let me just take that out. And now we can... Should just ignore that now. Right on. After that, you guys should know how to cook. Go to edit. You'll find the operation. Hit open. Oh, one more thing. We do want to do the rule set. So this will go to here. We want to see how, because they changed it. They used to have it to where it was in the co-op mission, and then they ended up changing it to where I believe it's inside this one now, which is where you want to put all your stuff at. So like your objective text. We did crows. I don't even remember what that M240s, M240 crows. Opposition text doesn't really care because that's just for bots. And then you can do your full briefing text. Actually destroy. And you can change out the icon image, the map, mini-map. I wouldn't really touch that. And then now down in here, you can actually kind of change and play around with the template. But like I said, don't mess with it too much, or else you have to kind of copy your own and change it there. Just change it inside of here. Use the rule sets. Rule sets are kind of like the go-to new modding phase for squad. Definitely want to be looking out for all of those as well. So this whole briefing text is the one where you'll, when you, as soon as you spawn in to the lobby, it'll show you the like what to do, how many enemies are there. Oh, and I just crashed. So don't open the table. It is a crash. But other than that, I'll see you guys around. So we'll end it here. Just cook it, upload it, test it in your as like an unlisted mod first. You'll subscribe to it, test it, and then do use admin change layer, change to your mission name, mission title, layer title, and then after that, you guys are all set. So if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, share it with your peeps, and thank you.